attention will be based on business and corporate world. Daniel chapter 1, verse 4. Children in whom was no blemish, but well favored. But it didn't end there. In the secret place, we can acquire favor. But you need to get understanding. You need to get wisdom. You need to get knowledge of things to be fit for this call. Did we get that? By the grace of God, I sit on the assessment panel for First Bank. And I've been doing that for a few years. There have been instances where, personally, now I'm also a human being, I have interest in some candidates. Personally. You understand? But in the assessment center, they're asking the candidate to go this way. It's going this way. Because I'm interested, you try to direct him back to the path that he should go. Yet, start running in this direction. Can you do anything? Even though we attend the same church. Even though we are cousins. So knowledge in the business world is key. In fact, that's what people pay for. They pay for what you know and what you can do. In that passage, that was the basic thing before Daniel could be called. And that standard remains today. We need favor. We have to be well favored. But more importantly, there are things we need to do ourselves. We need to go and acquire knowledge. We need to know what we are doing. Let me share something that happened recently. There was an interview session that normally I should undo it. But because I had other things to do, I appointed people to undo it for me. And those that will undo it, I now sent names to them that these people, they are from me. Though you must do your job. But naturally, it will be difficult for them to come back to me and say, okay, your candidates. But they know that if they give me candidates that do not match what I need, I will come for them. They told them, Oga, out of all these your candidates, these ones passed. This one did not pass. But if you tell us to take them, we will still take them. Oh. Can you see wisdom? You get? They know that I've told them to do a job for me. They must get it done. So please, we need to acquire knowledge. Many of us, we only have knowledge in the area where we study. Maybe you study Greek. Let them ask you anything about politics. You don't have an idea. Me, I'm going to church. Don't discuss politics with me. Whereas they will ask you in interview, they will ask you what happened between Russia and Ukraine. Nobody might teach you that in school. They will ask you what is happening in Israel. So you need to acquire knowledge. My time is. Then, I put it here that there are some of these things that you need to work to acquire. Conscious effort to acquire them. Then in chapter 2, verses 10 and 11, speak about limitation mindset. Can we please bring it up? Chapter 2, verses 10 and 11. Speak about the Chaldeans answered before the king and said, there is not a man upon the earth. No, they didn't say themselves. So they said there is even no man upon the earth that can show the king's matter. Therefore, there is no king, lord, or ruler that acts something or magic. Let's go to the next verse. It is rare that a king requires, and there is none. You see, they even say, except gods. It's only gods that can show it. They know that their own God can show it. Why do they not consult their gods? If truly their own God, you can see small g. If their gods could show it, why did they not consult their gods? It's a limitation mindset that on the surface cannot happen. In Nigeria today, I see a lot of limitation mindsets. But many of the times, when I find myself among those people, I decide to take a walk. People say Nigeria is bad. Is it bad? People say the economy is destroyed. I understand the fact that petrol is now over 1,000 naira. Is that not? But do you know that some people want Tinubu to continue? It's not that they are in politics. Farmers today are making money. Are you aware? Farmers. How? Someone is asking me how. I will tell you how. I deal with farmers. No, I'm a banker, but I deal with farmers. As at this time last year, a ton of cocoa, how much was it? It was less than 3 million naira. This time last year. Today, a ton of cocoa is between 12 and 15 million naira. Same cocoa. So, a farmer that did not make, so in fact, in 2020, as of 2020, I was in Ondo State. Or 2020, I wanted to say 2022. As of 2022, I was in Ondo State. That was just 2 years ago, right? As at that time, a ton of cocoa was 1.something million naira. Same cocoa. And you know, Ondo, Akure area is the cocoa belt. As at that time, I felt farmers were making money by selling their cocoa a ton, 1.8 million, 1.7 million. By 2023, it moved to 2.8 million, 3 million. As at today, same cocoa is about between 12 and 15. So would someone like I say the economy is bad? That's one. Two, do I tell you that some people in business world are making their money? I have a cousin during COVID. He bought a car as at that time for 18 million naira. And I asked him, bro, the economy is flat, everything is down. You know what he told me? He said, Adelekan COVID can continue. It should. Because he made his money during COVID. And what was he doing? He was producing nylon. You know what they call packing bag? That is the bag where they put nylon is. You know, is it 20 or 16 that we have in the bag now? So that's the nylon they used to pack 16. That's what he was producing. During COVID, he said the demand increased. And because they closed some borders, he already had those products down. He was able to make a lot of money. Now, fuel price is high. What can we do as individuals, as young people? What can we do? Let's continue. But we should not see Nigerian economy as a reason where we should sit back. When men are saying there is a casting down, what will you say? There's a lifting up. But it's not just limited to saying it. It is about who you looking at opportunities around you. And about limitation mindset, If you want to start something, look at what is coming out of it. Have you seen someone that said kundi before? Kundi. Do you know what they call kundi? Do you know what they call kundi? Dried meat. Meat to dry gone. You have to put it in. Do you know that as at 2008, 2009, I knew a woman in the market that anytime he wants to buy kundi, pays over 10 million naira to buy kundi. 10 million naira then should be over 100 million now. Abi? Because that was about 15 years ago. So I was like, is it kundi that we go and buy 200 naira? Abi? But the woman decided to play it big. I was online yesterday. I saw a shop in Lagos. The only thing they sell in that shop are t-shirts. And they sell it in bail, brand new in bail. And they tell you that you can get t-shirts of 1,500, 1,700, 2,000, and the likes. And imagine that level of... So, we should not limit ourselves to... There's nothing bad in starting small, but let limitation not set in. That's where I'm going. Verses 24 and 25. Daniel, when they got the results, in that passage, there's something they are looking for. Do you know? The king dreamed. He forgot his dream. And he is looking for those that come and interpret the dream he had forgotten. But in chapter 2, verse 24, Daniel had gotten the results. He did something. He did not go to meet the king. Who did he go to? Let's look at chapter 24, verse 24. Who did he go to? He went to Arioch, whom the king had ordained to destroy the wise men of Babylon, and said thus unto him, destroy not the wise men of Babylon, bring me in before the king. I will show the king the interpretation. Next verse. You see, many of us in the corporate settings or in the office, if you get solution to a problem, the next thing you do is to run to the MD. Don't do it. Do you report to someone? Do you have a supervisor? Go and meet your supervisor. Let your supervisor present you to the MD. Don't overtake because you have a result. Because you have prayed and God has given you the solution to the problem of your establishment. Don't run to the MD. Are you getting it? That's what Daniel did there. He did not run to the king. He went to the person the king had ordained to do the assignment. It is that person that took his hand to the king. Please, that verse 25, I want to say something. Then Arioch brought in Daniel before the king in haste. Can you remember? Can you see in haste? And said thus unto him, I have found a man of the captives of Judah that will make known unto the king the interpretation. What did you see in that verse? Arioch brought relevance to himself too. He said, I have found. So, to also show the king that in this solution, no, I also play a part. Even though the solution is not coming from me, but I've also played a part. You see, in the corporate world, if you do like Daniel, your supervisor will continue to recommend you to his own supervisors that this guy or this man is reliable. Can you see it? But many a times in the corporate world, you see the subordinate trying to bypass his own supervisor to look good in the supervisor's eye. I don't know if you get it. Daniel did not run that Arioch. Daniel did not go to the king, leaving Arioch. He went to Arioch and said, the solution is here. And Arioch also went to the king in haste and said, I have found someone that will give us the solution to the problem. It's important. What I want to bring out is, do not try to outshine your boss. Do not try to outshine your boss. In your department or in your unit, you might be the one doing all the work. It's possible that complex tasks are brought to you to do. They know that once they give you complex tasks, it will be done without error. Do not, because of that, outshine your boss. Your boss still remain your boss. If possible, let him or her take the glory if he wants to take it. How many of us watch Abiodun? You know something like that happened? Where? Tell me. The Officer Gabriel and Officer Pius, thank you. You see, Officer Pius telling Officer Gabriel that, no, before I enter, Rambo. Motimu Rambo. And he was doing, he wanted to go and address the press. Abi, why addressing the press? What did Officer Gabriel do? Those that did not watch Abiodun, I'm not here to preach Abiodun. You see, do not ever try to. Now, when Officer Pius tried to outshine his boss, what happened? Then there was Aena. And now said, go and face Aena. Go and die. Maybe you know how to make mouth. You know how to say that you are the one. You are going to face. And what did Officer Pius do? Brought his family and started begging. Did we see it? So that's what happens if you try to outshine your boss. There are instances when your boss, you are doing it, but it's not telling people. It's hiding it. Don't fight. Go and pray. Don't say, my dear, sure. Me, then you shame. If you fail to do it, someone else will do it. Someone else will do it. Let me share experience of a colleague. He was working with Access Bank. And he came to First Bank. He was working under me. And in a day last year, he just came to me that, Oga, can you please give me 2 days? I said, for what? He said, the MD of Access, the one that died, wanted to see him. I said, what for? He said, for his unit, it's always the one that do their presentation, PowerPoint. That anytime the department wants to have presentation with the MD or for the board, he's the one that usually prepare the slide. His boss will just go and present. And right, there have been instances while presenting, the boss have gotten promotion several times. But it's not the boss that did the slide. So this guy left and came to First Bank. So the next meeting, the presentation was not properly done. So the MD was like, what's happening? Is this your... He now said, my colleague that was doing it has gone to First Bank. The MD said, bring him for me next week. Gave a date that I want to have a chat with him. So he came to me that I wanted to go and meet the MD. I allowed him to go. When he got to head office of Access, the MD of Zenith, the MD of GT was with the MD of Access, in MD of Access office. So they brought in this guy. And they started asking him, why did you leave us for First Bank? And he gave his reasons. And he said, what if I give you double of what First Bank is offering you? Will you take it? Can you see it? While they were discussing, MD of GT said, you cannot take this guy. He has worked for you before. He has gone to First Bank. I want to enjoy him now. Can you see it? At that point, you mention what you want. Because there is a value that they have seen in you. When he was doing it, his immediate supervisor was enjoying it. When he left, they saw the vacuum, the space show, and they asked for him. Is it clear? That's a typical experience of a colleague in the corporate space. So don't ever try to outshine your boss. My time is gone. Let's quickly look at verses 27 and 28. Verse 27. Daniel answered in the presence of the king and said, the secret which the king hath demanded cannot the wise men, the astrologers, the magician, and soothsayers show unto the king. That none of us can do it. Next verse. But there is what? But there is a God. He at that point referred back to God, who is his source, or who was his source. He did not just say, I've come with the solution. He made reference to where the solution came from. So we should not in any way forget to make reference to where we are getting our source from. That's what Daniel did. He made reference to the source of his strength. People of God, we have said a few things. We have said to be qualified for that call, there are things that you need God to do for you. One of them is what? We said favor. Is that not it? We also said, having gotten God's favor, there are things you need to work on to be qualified for the call. One of it is what? Wisdom, knowledge, understanding. You see, you need to acquire skills. You need to acquire skills. And in skill acquisition, we should not limit ourselves to the kind of skills that we acquired in school. We need to get any skill that is available, go and acquire it. I studied mechanical engineering, my first degree. And I found myself in banking. So the first thing I did was to go and get a master's in business administration, something that's related. Is that not? But I was not satisfied. So I went inside the Abiodun market. Do you know Foko? I mean, no Foko in Ibadan. Foko is not far from Agbeni. There's Yana Foko in Agbeni. On that street, what you see is chemist. It's not ordinary chemist. They sell wholesale medication and drugs. I went there in 2008. I joined back in 2006. By 2008, I went to Agbeni to go and learn how to sell drugs. Wholesale. Do you get it? Trying to acquire other knowledge. I was there for like 1 year. I was still doing banking job, but every Saturday and all my vacation, I will never travel out for vacation, tell me. I will go there and learn. Are you getting it? Let me come to some recent days. During COVID was year 2020. Is that? If you remember, they closed banks. You can only use ATM. If you want to enter bank, they will say they are not working. Is that? So the office my branch was closed. Only ATM could work. So when I get to office by 9 o'clock, we just sit down till 4 o'clock and go home. And I told myself, what skill can I acquire during this time? And I had a customer that's into engineering servicing. I studied mechanical engineering. So I told myself, let me even go and learn that thing they taught me in school. All those theories that we did. Let me go and do the practical. So I went to the customer. Mo fẹ́ kọ́ṣẹ́. The man said, manager, le kọ́ṣẹ́. As at the time, I was a branch manager. Manager, le kọ́ṣẹ́. Ma kọ́ṣẹ́. And I started. By 8, I will be in my first bank office. By 9, I will leave because there was COVID. We are not working. I will go to engineering workshop and start learning. I will be there till 3 and go back to first bank. And I will go back to engineering workshop, stay there till 6:37 and go home. Throughout COVID. What was I trying to do? Acquire knowledge, but it's not related to first bank. It's not related to banking. And after like 6 months doing that, I saw that if I focus on this, I make more money than banking. With the little knowledge I acquired in 6 months. So I decided to stay another 6 months. Acquiring knowledge. Acquiring skills. At the end of the second 6 months, my Oga that was teaching me in that place said, manager, maybe you should go and look for small money and start your own. Me, I will continue to teach you, but start your own. And I started. And I can tell you today, that thing I started, if I leave First Bank today, I won't even know. What? Skills. Because you see, by the time you went to university or polytechnic, by the time you go and learn what those people do outside, you do it better. It was when I joined them and I made them to understand that all this equipment you use, you can get it from America now. And they said, you get. We can go online, get this equipment, they test it for us, we paid them, and they sent it to us. They said, I want Jowo Walo. And I started. I imported first equipment for them, and they saw that the price was about 60% of what they are buying it in Nigeria. And it's even better than what they buy in Nigeria. So I started adding value to them too. You get? So they will never allow me to go. I started adding value to them. So they also teach me the more. I also add value the more. They teach me the more. I add value the more. And I make money the more. Do you get it? So it is in skill acquisition that you can be like Daniel. He was skillful. He was skillful. Don't join them to continue to complain about Nigeria. Leave Nigeria alone. Leave Nigeria problem alone. Don't leave Nigeria problem alone. Because someone will say, don't leave Nigeria alone. That problem, don't look at it. Look at opportunity you can acquire from that problem. Today, we don't have the time. If you want to do business, I can give you several businesses you can do. There are those you need a lot of capital. There are those you don't need a naira. All you need is knowledge, the understanding of that business. There is a man inside this Bodija. Do we know, is it Alubarika shopping complex or something? You know, that is a big place. There is a man there, finished from UI. After graduation from UI, went to the north to serve. Normal 1 year NYC. In the course of the service, he discovered that where he was serving in the north, there was beans, there was alubosa. So when he got his salary, he will buy maybe 2 bags of alubosa, 2 bags of beans, and send it through vehicle, through lorries to Ibadan. Call those in Bodija market. Please, eba me ta, kese do pass me. No, it's good in UI. So he asked people there. That guy today, if you enter Alubarika, just say, I want to see Alakowe. They call him Alakowe. He was I think he was the maybe second best or the best graduating student in UI. They gave him lecturing appointment, he left it. I've seen someone think that it's more than your lecturing appointment. He was able to acquire knowledge or skills in buying things from the north and sell it here. Do we get it? He started with his salary, gradually, and today, in fact, the wife is a lecturer, but he is doing trading. If you see him, you will think, this man is suffering, he's making money. Do we get it? So we should not limit ourselves to white-collar job. I do white-collar job. But I can tell you that we should not limit ourselves to it. White-collar job is good, especially if you do not have capital. You can use it to acquire capital. Don't see white-collar job as a way of getting meat. No. It's a place where you can get your seed that you plant. That's what I did. My parents cannot acquire any. Even when I was going to school, I have to go and do brisoke. Do you know what they call brisoke? Some people do not know. People in this line, you don't know. I have to go and do, at times, shoe cobbling. Do you know what they call shoe cobbling? I have that box. Yeah, so, but I polish. I do it well. To get school fees. So those people cannot get capital for business for you. But I was able to get it in the corporate world, and I was able to use it in business to start business. So please, if you do not even have the white-collar job to get capital, I can tell you today there are things you do, you don't need capital. You only need to go and learn. By the time you learn, that's because some people middlemen. Do you know what they call middlemen? Do you know what do they do? Please, can I get...
They serve as connection between buyers and sellers and make their profit.
Thank you. So, how much capital do you need to be a middleman? 1 million, 2 million, 5 million? Nothing. But you need skill, you need knowledge. If they are telling you, I need a crankshaft, you must know the type of crankshaft it is. Abi? You must know where to go and get. You know who has the crankshaft. You tell the customer to sit down. Ani abayiwa. Is it strange? And Ani, Daddy, crankshaft 3066 engine. Sheni over alone 350,000. Ani 420,000. Is it a sin? 420,000. I got 380. I'm 400. The man needs it. He will even buy it for whatever the price. He has the money. He needs the crankshaft. You know where the crankshaft is. You need the money. Do you understand? But you must know crankshaft in Ibolowa. You must also know what the crankshaft can do. You get? I'm using crankshaft because I'm into engineering. So those are the things you And those things you don't need capital. They pay you 400,000. You pay daddy how much? 350. You cut 50,000, and you can do 2 or 3 in a day. It's not possible. It's possible. That's what people do. And another example, in every field, we have people like that. Is that there's an engineering site, maybe construction site. They need equipment for construction. Is there anybody that did civil engineering here? Civil or any engineering field? Which engineering, sir? Architecture. On site, you need equipment, right? Can we mention 1 or 2 of those such instruction equipment? You need a concrete mixer, but that one is even very common. If you want to excavate, what do you use? Excavator and things like that. Okay. So you have a construction work, or you have someone that have construction work. You as a middleman, you go there. Good afternoon, sir. Yes, sir. Congratulations, we had they have given you this contract. And we know that you need equipment. Please, sir, we can get those equipment for you. The man have contracts. He doesn't have equipment. And he can't start going from street to street looking for those equipment. So once you go there, we can get you equipment. Okay, which one do you have? We have everything. Then we have a catalog. Or law school. No, you went to school now. So you have a catalog, you show them pictures. The man will feel good with you. Okay, can you get me this, and this? Each day, sir, is 250,000 for equipment. Can we pay 200? No, sir, pay 230. Okay, 230. The owners, hello, we need this equipment in that place. I pay you 200 per day. This one is paying 230 per day. For every day on one equipment, you make how much? 30,000. And they can take 3 equipment and run it every day for the next 6 months. Do you have an idea of what that is? So on each equipment, 30,000, 3 equipment, 90,000. Let's say your running cost 40,000, your profit daily 50,000 times 6 months. How many of us know Olodo? You know there was a bridge that got broken at Olodo now, collapsed bridge, and they did it. I know they did that bridge for over a year. Every day they work on that bridge, sir. Some people are eating. If the person that is eating, that's why I'm using the example, is a member of the MIV. The person that provide them equipment they use on that site. And it's not the owner of this equipment. He will go to collect it and take it there and cut his margin. So what is wrong with us? I'm only using these examples because they are live examples. In the area you are, look at what you can do. Using your skills, using your knowledge. God help us. I've used extra time. Have you been blessed? I said, I'm not here to preach. I've not preached, Abby. We have discussed. And the intention is to open our eyes and see some of those things.